You are about to opt in to Monerotopia, a show for the Monero community where all are welcome to join. From noob to maxi, no matter what bags you hold. Just sit back and relax to the sweet sounds of Monero's latest progress. Or if you're feeling inspired, join us on stage. Remember, the only thing that can stop Monero is a false belief that it can be stopped. And if you want to win the revolution faster, we recommend you remove your XMR from all custodial exchanges immediately. Warning, voting accidents are common around here. Don't forget to properly secure your private keys. Monerotopia starts now.
All right.
Hello.
The wind's just picking up
Yeah.
as we're going. I'm going to hold mine a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good. You can lower the gain.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? Can you hear us?
I believe so.
Sounds good in my headphones.
I think so.
So we are back
Somewhere
in paradise. We haven't been here all week. I wish we have. But we came back for the weekend.
Yes. Just came back.
It's not our. This isn't our play. This is this is
a family
visiting friends. Family. Cheers.
Cheerios. Oh, Howard Snowden says he hears us, or she hears us. There you go.
So nice out here, though. Something about
really
being
nice.
on the sea.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't live near the water, we were talking about this yesterday, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know how you do it.
I don't know how you do it.
There's something about, like, that's the only way I can reset in life is going into the ocean.
Yeah. And it's beautiful out here.
Jeez. Feels good.
It feels really
Except
nice.
for my ear infection, but we won't get into that.
We won't get into that. We're going to go check that out. Guys, he's going to go check himself out.
Good morning, guys. So we're super excited. We're going to announce. We kind of announced it last time, but now we formalized it more.
It's official.
It's official. We built the website. Actually, somebody in the Monero community built the website that had reached out to us to help Monero Boating. He's going to be. What's his actual?
It's just his name. Well, no, let's just call him Monero Boating.
No, I know. But what is it? It's Monero Boating?
Monero Boating.
Yeah. I'm saying his real name. Yeah. He didn't even tell us his real name.
Didn't.
Which is cool.
So community for you.
Yeah, he'll be jumping on and
Monero Boating Club.
Monero Boating Club. So
missed the club.
We are members of the Monero Boating Club.
Yes.
He'll be jumping on. We'll go over the website. We'll go over the event. It's gonna super excited for that. What else we got? What else do we want to bring up?
Well, we published an interview this week. Benjamin, the
Goldback
guy. Yes.
Yeah, that was cool.
So for those that haven't checked it out, check it out.
I'm a big Goldback fan.
Yeah.
Obviously, slightly more into Monero than Goldbacks, but I do like Goldbacks. I think they're cool. Trying to figure out a way where we could, anonymously purchase Goldbacks with Monero and vice versa.
Sure,
that'd be awesome.
Figure that out.
Yeah, I talked to him a little bit about that in the interview, so check it out. I've been talking to him a little bit after the fact about that concept. Anybody else super interested in that? Maybe reach out to us. Maybe we could help get that going. I think that'd be cool. Easy ways for people to go in between Monero and Goldbacks. What else we got coming up?
I mean,
or anything we want to bring up.
Not really, actually.
Yeah, it's August, guys.
Yeah, it's August. This is like kind of a more chill month. We've still been releasing lots of videos, so
we might go to that New York Libertarian Convention in September, right?
Maybe.
It's a maybe right now.
It's a maybe.
We might have other things going on, but that'd be cool. Do you have any other events coming
up? Just this one, I think. So far.
This is going to be on Halloween. We'll get into the details.
Yeah, which actually, I guess might as well just jump into that.
No, right? let's keep it going because we'll have boating accident come up.
Okay.
Gratuitous. We got new fresh coffee, guys. Freshly or whatever, fresh from the farm. Hasn't been roasted yet.
Yeah, we just
got
that
new batch.
Yeah,
finally made its way up here.
Takes a while. Please, thank you for being patient.
We have a bag that's supposed to be on its way to this house here, so we can taste it. We have our guy in Portland who's roasting it. Portland or Seattle?
Seattle. Seattle.
It's like the same
You're
place.
Talking too close to the mic.
So he's freshly roasting it. So anybody that orders it, he literally roasts it and ships it out the next day. So should be good. order it. It's fresh green
It's
beans that just
fresh
came up from the
green
farm.
beans.
And that's another trip we're looking to do.
Yeah.
We'll be heading back down to Guatemala probably in December or January. And we want to onboard all the other workers that work on the farm, the ones that come in just during the season to pick the beans. So we're looking to do that. We'll probably do that in January, right?
Yeah, January.
So there's like 100 workers that come in temporarily to pick the beans. We want to hook all them up with Monero wallets as well. Right now we only have like 20 of the workers on the farm hooked up. So we're looking to
go do
accomplish
that. Yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
huge.
We met some of the family members that were actually out in town too, so that was nice. We explained it even more detail.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Last week we met them for dinner here in New York.
So that was cool.
Some of the relatives that own the farm or whose uncles own the farm were here in New York. So we went out to dinner with them. We explain part of the issue here is having the owners of the farm truly understand what we're trying to accomplish. Like they see what we're doing, but I don't think they really grasp like why it matters. Which is, kind of unfortunate, right? They should be a little bit more excited about the fact that we're hooking up all their workers with
it's a slow
tips.
Process. It's just going to take time.
They're getting there.
Be patient, my friend.
We spoke to some of the younger members of their family that like understand crypto, so they thought the idea was amazing. And now we tell them that we want to now grow it and hook up, the 100 temporary workers that come in just to pick the beans. And this idea of maybe hooking up some of the stores in the village where the farm is located and get them to accept Monero. So now these workers have a place to spend it.
Use it. Yeah.
And this guy confirmed that like these 100 workers that come in for the season, that most of them actually do live in the village right there near the farm. So that would be awesome. Get the local bodega, the local shop that sells a little bit of everything, get them to agree to accept Monero, even if that means we have to like agree to buy them out, buy out their Monero, just get them to accept Monero. So then these people have a place to spend their tips.
So that should be, yeah.
Yeah. And then we're also thinking Colombia, right? We're talking to somebody in the Monero community, been talking to them for a few months, trying to figure out when to go down there and try to onboard a second farm.
More delicious coffee coming your way, my friends.
All right, but I say we jump into price report.
All right, let's do that quickly.
It's been a big week in price. Things are back down in the doldrums here with price. I personally don't mind it.
All right, so let's quickly jump into that. It's a pre-recorded one,
and then we'll have Monero Boating,
and then we'll have Monero Boating Club. So here you go, guys.
Stay tuned.
The Monerotopia Price Report segment is sponsored by Local Monero. Avoid using KYC exchanges. Buy and sell Monero directly for fiat, peer-to-peer.
Good morning, everybody, on this nice little weekend. I hope you're all grabbing a coffee or a beer with this price report and see what's in store for us. So today I'm going to discuss some on-chain updates that got triggered since last week, along with some technical analysis. And in the end, just going to have a short briefing about the global headwinds that's happening. When we start about the psychology of traders and investors, for the last 1 month, we have been pretty much in fear. And this fear was less of a fear, so more of, let's say, a little bit of greed that creeped up into the markets last month. And now, since we saw a pullback from highs of 25,000 down to 21,000, we're back into this kind of this fear zone, right? We're back into the zone. And are we going to last here, or are we going to go back up? That's something to be discussed. So in terms of the Bitcoin price action, if you recall from the last time, I did indicate that we are expecting a breakout about August 16th time frame and during that week, and we did see a breakout. However, I was wrong about the direction, where I was expecting a kind of an up move, because this is for this kind of chart pattern, we do see an up move. However, we saw a downward breakdown, but it was accurate that there was an impulsive move coming and we are going down in this case. So what does that indicate? You would see this, the line that you see on the top is the 200 day moving average. Let me try to draw this 200-day moving average, DMA. And the line that you see below, the light blue line here, is the 200-week moving average, which is the average of Bitcoin's price over the last 200 weeks. And this is the average of Bitcoin price over the last 200 days. So this one forms a resistance going forward, and this one acts as a support going forward. So we are flirting about the 20, how do you call that? The 22,000 levels. Right now we dipped below that. So we are dipping below the 200 WMA, which is found to be a long-term support. And I do expect us to come back up and, keep flirting around these lines, because that's typically what happens in a bear market. Should we break down to something like 16, 17,000? Well, I would again stick to this 200 week moving average as a long-term support. We can break down, but should we break down, we should get back above. I mean, this is typically a good buying zone historically. In terms of technology, everything has improved in terms of the Bitcoin's technology and in terms of Monero's technology. Things have been improving. I'm not talking about the shit coins out there, but I'm talking about the main technologies out there. It's been improving. So I'm not really too much bothered. I'm just going to keep an eye on the 200-week moving average. Going forward, I'm showing something called the active address sentiment indicator. So what this means is you see these gray lines in between. These gray lines are the active address change in percentage, how the addresses increase with user growth, and the 28-day price change. So how fast the price changes in the last 28 days. So this is basically a ratio between these two. And you would see that although the gray line was trending upwards to an extent, but the price growth suddenly overshot the gray lines. You would see the 28-day price change was 21%, while active addresses did not grow as fast. What does that mean? This is kind of like a FOMO kicking in, and when that happens in a bear market, there is a pullback, and that's exactly what we saw. While we go ahead and see Bitcoin active addresses, these are the number of addresses that have some sats in it, some Bitcoin in it. And if you see, since 2018, this has been forming a lower high, and we've been in this kind of range. Since there has not been a push of active addresses on chain, and what typically happens in a bull market is the active addresses suddenly rises, right? Suddenly rises. That means new users are coming into the network, and when new users come into the network, what happens is the prices are pushed to the upside. But that is not really the case right now. It's kind of lackluster at the moment. So we do need active addresses to increase going forward. And we can also see this. Interestingly, one good news is the Bitcoin wallet sizes with more than one Bitcoin has been on a sharp rise. That means the number of wallets with more than one Bitcoin has increased, and you would see since 2022. This is an interesting stat because if you go back to the all-time highs of 2017-18, the active addresses around the price of 19,000, 20,000, we had 710,000 active addresses with having more than one Bitcoin. Today, during this bear market, we are having about 900,000 active addresses around the same price point. That is pretty interesting in terms of adoption, right? And a couple of more things in terms of the rainbow chart pattern. These are the different color codes we see when Bitcoin is in a bull or bear territory. Right now we are entering the last color code, that is about, it's called the fire sale or buy. It's a good long-term indicator for the for accumulation zone. So we are still in the long-term accumulation zone for the future. Now I would like to dig into the weekly chart for Monero. This is something I showed before, the head and shoulder pattern playing out and we being in this kind of like the range. And you would see here we are making lower highs. And this is exactly the kind of chart pattern that happens where we see a breakout to the upside. But we have to wait and watch here, because I said $135 is something that I'm looking at as the lower level support. Of course, 120 is something that has been a long-term support, with 180 being the next level of resistance above which we want to break open with high volumes. However, if you see the last 90 days of Monero's volume, we were quite lackluster before. However, lately, it has so happened that we have gained back a volume of our $140 million. And what could potentially happen is some sort of short squeeze incoming in the coming days, where it can take us to the upside. So that is what I would see going forward. So I still stick to my previous analysis that I had the last few weeks. And the last part is the talk about global headwinds. What's going on around the world? I know, we have been all following the news of Russia and Ukraine, and Europe going into an energy crisis. The Euro USD is back to parity again, and I expect the Euro to fall against the US dollar coming days and weeks and months. And that is because a number of factors in key play right now. The rivers in Europe, in some of the countries, are drying up because of the heat wave that has been happening. In fact, I just heard that one of the rivers, popular rivers in France, got dried up. That's quite saddening. So all of this is having some sort of impact going forward, and the Taiwan-China crisis that is happening. I know US is trying to defend Taiwan, but more so for the reason that they don't want their own gross domestic product, GDP, to be affected going forward. Because if China takes over Taiwan, well, democracy is on one side, that is great, but more so it's detrimental to the United States, because Taiwan, if China gets Taiwan, that means that almost 40% of the world's GDP will be in the hands of China, and that is not a very good news for the US. So a lot of mess up is happening around the globe. We have to see, because how it affects the global supply chain. That is a big factor for also pushing up the prices across the globe, and also inflation. So I hope things improve, and this also has an invariable effect on the prices of assets. That is all from my side for this week. I hope you all have a great weekend ahead, and see you in the next price report. Bye-bye.
All right.
Alrighty.
Things are exciting, man. I listen to Bloomberg radio whenever I can in my car on my way to work during lunch. Obviously, you're not getting too much alpha there, but it's entertaining right now what's going on in the markets on a macro level. Things are pretty wild. I don't think anybody knows where things are going to go. And then obviously, I think crypto is just completely affected by the macro and by the larger market. It just hasn't decoupled at all. So yeah, we will see where things go. It is exciting though.
Exciting stuff.
Is Monero boating?
Yep.
Ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right.
So let's.
I see people have already started checking out the website.
Yes. Don't talk too close to the mic.
Okay. Sorry, it's a little windy out here, guys.
Alrighty, let's move on to the guest segment. The Monerotopia guest segment is sponsored by Cake Wallet. Store, send, receive, and exchange your Monero and Bitcoin safely on iOS and Android too. Cake Wallet is open source, and you always control your own keys. Hello.
What's going on, man?
How are you? Oh wait, you're muted.
You're muted.
I will unmute you. Oh, now you're right. You're fine now.
How are you?
Maybe Sunita, maybe put a new message on the bottom, like go to Monerotopia.com to participate in the privacy protest.
All right.
How's it go, man? Great job on the
Good,
website.
yeah. Thank you. I'm excited for you guys. I think it's a great project.
Let's put it up. You want to put it up, Nita? I'm asking her to.
Yeah, you're asking me like 8,000 things, and then when things don't work out, hey, someone gets upset.
Yeah. So you had mentioned, that you would be down to help us out with websites and such. You're part of the reason we decided to put this event together. I was like,
awesome! Wow, I'm flattered. I think it's an awesome event, and there's not been a better time than now. Then it's we're beginning to see censorship, and yeah, it's about time.
yeah, I think so. We're starting to see a clampdown from the state on on privacy tech, more so
There
than
was
we've
a
ever seen
great
it.
there
Right?
was a
Not
great
since.
lecture by and Andreas Antonopoulos about this, exactly about Ethereum, that it says you is it really uncensorable? I mean, when the time comes, will protocols really enforce on uncensorability? And I guess right now we're about to see the answer.
Are you referring to the Ethereum compliant miners, that what we're seeing right now, or you're just talking about the Tornado Cash?
Yeah, about Tornado Cash I was
Okay.
talking about. So
Yeah, because that's also new news that's happening, right? I don't know if you've seen it. Maybe somebody wants to jump up that has more knowledge about it. There's my understanding there's mining pools in Ethereum that are essentially censoring transactions.
and
That
Bitcoin
are.
too.
Oh no, I know, but we're seeing it happen in a very strong way in Ethereum right now
Oh.
because of Tornado Cash. So like this one of the largest pools, I believe, is completely avoiding any transactions that are involving that software, but you're seeing very real effects. So it's scary to witness. In Bitcoin, there was the compliant miner, right? The OFAC compliant miner. I forget the name of the mining group, Marathon, I believe it was, right? But it didn't really have a significant effect. We haven't really seen it. It was more
Not yet.
symbolic, but now in Ethereum, it's not really symbolic. We're actually seeing it have a real, it's actually censorship that's taking place. So scary to see. Which leads me to another thing. So obviously we decided, I was going back and forth with you and asking some other people in the community. We decided with this event to, the theme here is uniting, right? Uniting around this idea of, protecting privacy tech, open source privacy tech. And that's not just Monero. Obviously, Monero does it the best. We think it's the most unstoppable version. But when we see other cryptos get attacked, and when we see states take aggressive actions against these open source projects to the point where they're crossing a line in terms of our constitutional rights, that's something we want to protect. It's only going to help Monero, right? We want to. It's a war that's being fought on multiple fronts. The regulation is one of those fronts. At the end of the day, we're not here to seek permission, right? We're here to build something that works with or without the state's permission. But it certainly helps us to create an environment where these projects can flourish as opposed to being, stymied or slowed down.
So let me ask you: you're a lawyer and you have been into politics or are into politics.
Yeah.
We're seeing the censorship in both, first in Ethereum, like you said, and Bitcoin. In Monero, it's impossible to censor because it's fungible. What they would have to do is just ban the whole thing at a protocol level.
Exactly.
What are your thoughts on that? Do you see that coming, or what do you think about that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So shots have been fired. They've, I believe, breached, our constitutional rights already with what they're doing with these other open source technologies.
Yeah.
I think there's a greater argument for Monero in terms of why it should not, the United States government shouldn't be allowed to ban it, right? I think there's greater arguments to be made. And but the point is, I think we need to start pushing back now, right? We don't want to wait until there's this Supreme Court case happening with Monero and whether or not Monero should be it should be essentially illegal for the state to ban it. I think we need to start pushing back now, and I think we've already given up a lot a lot of our advancements since the privacy wars, and it's it's like boiling a frog, right? You don't do it all at once. You just slowly encroach
Exactly.
into the point where you turn around and now they're at your doorstep. So rather than waiting for them to be at our doorstep, I think we start pushing back now. The best defense is offense. And like I said, I personally think Monero is built to be unstoppable more than any other crypto design in terms of its design. And as it grows in adoption, it only becomes stronger. And so those are the two best things we can do right now, right? Is be out there telling people that the United States government shouldn't be doing this. This is antithetical to what this country's supposed to be about. We should
Privacy is a human right.
We should be promoting these technologies. We should be, there's, the elected officials of the U.S. government should be out there cheering these technologies on, and how they're going to lead to, to more liberty and freedom, and all these things that are supposed to align with the United States government, a more free and open democracy. So we need to be out there leading that charge and getting that message out there. And then we also just need to get the message out there that Monero exists as a technology, and that we shouldn't be asking people's permission. We should just be adopting it. And if enough people adopt it, it just can't be stopped. So those are what I see as being kind of the two things we should be focused on as a Monero community, and obviously developing the tech, but I'm not capable of that.
Yeah.
Right. So we're doing the things we can do.
Right.
And that's where you come in, man. I think you did a great job stepping up to make the website.
Thank you. I really enjoyed working on this project, because exactly, I think it's about time we had a protest, and yeah. Have you gone through it, or? Okay.
Yeah, let's make it full screen. You want to?
Yeah.
Go through it. Yeah.
Here we go, guys.
All right, so we're calling it the privacy protests. Anonymously assemble. So we're calling people to come together anonymously. How are we going to do that? Well, it's on Halloween. Halloween is a very big night. It's kind of New York City at its best.
Yes.
At least traditionally. I hope Halloween hasn't been ruined in New York.
No.
New York sucks in a lot of ways right now. So this is part of it. It's bringing New York back too, right? So New York, in my mind, I've kind of been here my whole life. I've always seen it as this place of liberty and free expression, freedom to associate, and you could find your people, and nobody prevents you from doing that. And then New York has always been a great place for that. And Halloween in particular is a very freedom-loving, liberating night where people express themselves in their costumes. The Halloween parade that takes place in the East Village, it's a beautiful thing. You've been, right, Sunita?
Yeah. It's awesome.
People get really creative, really creative. They put in a lot of effort, and what they're really doing is, they're expressing their individuality. That's what Halloween's all about. It's not about, putting on a stupid Spider-Man costume or whatever. I mean, that's cool too, but it's cool when people get really creative and they're really out there spreading ideas. So we're trying to go off that energy and throw this event on Halloween night at the epicenter of where, the Halloween festivities take place in New York. And then this also allows people to essentially participate and assemble anonymously, because nobody's going to think twice if you're walking around in your Halloween disguise. You come to where we'll be meeting, and then
Washington Square Park in New York City, not Washington.
In New York City. This isn't in DC.
I know, everyone got confused last
Which is a whole nother. We'll see how it works out with, we're just asking people to assemble in this park, but that's part of it, right? I mean, we're not, we should be allowed to freely assemble without asking permission. And then you'll show up, and we'll give you an anonymous mask. We're going to be making specialized masks. We haven't designed them yet, but it's basically going to be the typical anonymous mask, but with some additional designs on it. Siddhartha is going to help us out with that. Siddhartha is the one that made the poster. I don't know if you want to bring the poster up real quick. Oh no, if you go scroll above.
Oh.
Wait, go back. Hit back. Scroll back up.
Oh, right there. Yeah.
So go all the way to the top. Yeah, so here you could open up the poster. So we want to hang these around the city. Get the word out in a grassroots level as well. Hang these posters up everywhere. So to participate in the event, there's really, one main thing to do. That's buy the mask. So then we could order these and have them custom made, and then we'll bring them
So
to
you're
the event.
reserving them, yeah, and you pick them up in person.
Right,
as
and you can
opposed
pick
to
them up in
shipping.
person anonymously. All we're asking is, for your email. You can pay Monero. Obviously, we want you to pay Monero. You can pay in other cryptos as well, but Monero preferred. We have the Monero gateway hooked up on the website. So you can anonymously purchase these. We're asking for an email just so, in case we need to coordinate, things change, we need to meet somewhere else. We need a way of getting in touch with everybody that, wants to participate. So we need your email. We need you to buy a mask. I mean, you don't have to buy one, but obviously this would be a lot more effective if everybody's wearing this, matching mask that has some strong messages on it. And then the third, the other obviously show up. And then the other thing too is we're asking people to donate, and we will put those donations towards printing out these posters and hanging them up around the city. So if you scroll all the way down, you could buy a poster as well if you want to just have one for your own keepsake.
Signed original, right?
Signed original by Siddhartha. Yeah. We're also saying you can buy a mask even if you're not going to come to the event. We'll figure that, if you want to just buy something and have it shipped to you, but you don't want to come participate anonymously,
or you can't.
we'll figure that out. So we, you're it won't be as anonymous as picking it up at the event, because you're going to have to give us a shipping address. But we'll add that too for those that just want to, maybe buy these items just to support what we're doing here. But yeah, so if you scroll down, if you get out of there, we put a donation address at the bottom. So yeah, you could either buy the poster that's signed by Siddhartha, or you just donate to us, and we're saying for every $10, we'll hang up one of these posters.
If you refresh that page, there's the Telegram group. I did it at the last minute, but
oh, sweet.
It should be right there.
Where? Okay. Here? Oh, okay. Let me see.
Yeah, beside the donate display.
So yeah, if you send us Monero to that address, $1, 50 cents, $10, $20, $100, all that will go towards us printing out flyers and hanging them up. So we'll probably, I say $10 is a flyer, but that's, we'll get a lot more up. All I could promise you, any amount of money that goes to that address will be put towards 100% will be put towards promoting this event. And I think hanging up posters would be a very cool part of that. And yeah, that's basically it. Did I miss anything?
Awesome. I'm just really observing the website. Came out really awesome. Thank you, Monero Boating Club.
Well, thank you for inviting me. Anybody who has an activist project and doesn't know how to make a website, I'll be more than happy to help.
Yeah, we'll be sending you your Monero tip for sure. Greatly appreciate
definitely.
it.
That's
and
not
for those
expected,
of you that are actually,
thank you.
Yeah, 100%, man. You got to get the circular economy going. It's the only way.
So yeah.
Awesome.
Dude, what do you think? You think you'll be attending the New York City? Obviously, we wouldn't know if you did, but what do you think? You flying into New York for Halloween?
Let's do this. Next time you invite me, fly me over to the studio. It doesn't look too bad, and yeah, I can go to the protest. No problem. No, it's kind of far away, but I am making plans to go to next Monerotopia gathering for sure. I hope you do it somewhere nearby. Well, and if not, I'll go. I'm sorry, what?
Awesome.
Yeah,
so yeah, we'll talk offline. We'll try to help you come to New York. Yeah, guys. I mean, anybody out there that's not in New York, we want. This isn't a Monerotopia conference, right? So it's a little different.
It's just a meetup.
But it's super cheap to attend and participate. This isn't like a conference with a big ticket. We're not getting it's protests. We're going to anonymously assemble, but we'll be there. Who knows how long we'll be there, right? It's going to be a great opportunity to meet up with other freedom-loving privacy tech people. We hope we can get a decent crowd out there. And what we want to do is get like 1 to 3 speakers that can, on a microphone, loudspeaker, kind of give a speech to that touches upon these important concepts and expresses why we're all out there. So any ideas for who the speakers should be, let me know. Or if you want to maybe, if you think you are that person, by all means, reach out. I mean, we have some big ideas, some big names. I don't know if we can get them, but at the very worst, we'll have one, but I think we'll probably have 1 to 3, and we'll that will basically be the content for the evening, and then it'll just be everybody kind of hanging out, and then I'm sure at some point everybody will go off into the bar scene around the parade, and we could all then just go hang out and have drinks, and it's just a party down there. Yeah. So.
And also throwing it out there, if anyone wants to help us throughout the event, handing out masks.
Yeah, 100%. Anybody that's in the New York area that wants to help, put up posters, we could give you posters to put up. We'll figure that out with you.
Just email us.
Anybody that wants to help the day of, obviously a sound person, somebody that could really come up big and figure out a good sound solution, like maybe 1 or 2 of those big speakers that go up quickly, like those DJ speakers, that we don't. Because we just, we're not really asking permission here. We're just showing up. We'll put the speakers up, and then we just need to wait to plug a mic in. And so anybody that has that equipment or access to it, or if they want to manage that process, and we'll give you some funds to do so. Obviously, better if you can donate if you have the equipment. Reach out to us for that. Anything else like needs?
I guess handing out the masks. I would probably need.
Oh yeah, people that just want to help us the day of, when people come and pick up their masks, because that's the thing. When you buy the mask, save your proof of purchase. Yes. Right, Monero Boating, we have it they'll get a unique ID, whatever purchase ID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, every order has a specific order an ID.
Yeah, so just save that, bring that
transaction ID. Yeah, I think so. Right?
No, it's not. We're not.
Oh no, we're not doing that.
We were gonna. Yeah, that was gonna make things more complicated.
Okay.
So yeah, just show up and we'll bring your purchase ID, and we'll give you your mask. So yeah, anybody that wants to help us that day of that, organize that.
Yeah. Here we have a question here that says, "How will the masks look?" We're working on that.
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know. We haven't been designed them yet.
Yeah, we're in the process.
We have some ideas. We have somebody on Etsy that we're talking to. I think Siddhartha maybe will design it, and then we'll find somebody to actually do the making of it, or maybe we'll have
anyone in the community,
or Monero Boating. I don't know if this is something you're interested in, but yeah, or anybody else in the community that has a solution.
I'll think about something and just throw it out there.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, the Etsy guy seems pretty cool.
Yeah,
he does
try to
beautiful
jump
work.
On the call, so we'll see.
Yeah, but we'll have him customize it towards the ideas we're trying to express here.
Yeah. So yeah, if anyone
I'm sorry.
Out. No, it's okay. I just want to tell them to reach out in the Telegram group or email us at monerotopia@protonmail.com. So those are the 2 locations.
Yeah, put that in the chat.
Yeah,
throw that in the chat.
Yeah.
What's up, Monero Boating?
I had some interesting news. Do you remember the Moneron that went on about 4 or 5 months ago?
Yes. It was awesome.
I have a friend that's organizing that. He organized the first one, and he told me that he's
amazing.
A new one is brewing. So it's important because it makes people take their Monero out of exchanges, and it's more than obvious that exchanges sell Monero that they don't have, like Binance.
Can we do it? Can we do it on the same day? Build up, do it on October 31st. That could be cool.
Yeah, I'll tell that it's not a bad idea at all. He doesn't have a date yet, he doesn't have a date yet, but it's good news because it exposes that exchanges don't have the Monero that they're selling, right? But and
I think it was very effective when he did it the first time because it got some good publicity, and it spread that message. Even I don't even know how many people actually participated, but it was very effective in terms of getting the word out on the concept of, not your keys, not your coins.
Yeah, definitely. Every time there's a big movement, the Monero withdrawals are frozen in every exchange. Binance, Kraken, Coinbase, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
super.
listen, we're going to open it up to let people jump on. People.
We have the news segment.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
let's do the
Tony's
news.
there. We'll do the news quickly.
Monero Boating, hang around. Can you hang around?
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, thank you. All right. So we'll move on to the weekly news segment with Tony. Is Tony there? Tony is back, I think. Okay, cool. And now for our weekly news segment. Hello, Tony. You're muted. Oh, you're unmuted. Hello. How's it going?
Tony, what's
Hey
up?
guys,
Tony. You're muted.
1 second.
Yep.
Okay, can you hear me good?
Yep. We
Yeah,
can hear you
much
now.
better.
Okay, hey guys, how are you?
Good. How are
Good,
you?
man. How you doing?
Good, good. There's a lot of super cool things that have been happening this week, so I can't wait to get into it.
All right. Take it away, my
Take
friend.
it away.
Okay, so for the first thing, we're gonna start off light and then go into the more interesting things that have been happening this week. Well, not interesting, but more, let's say, controversial. But the first thing, so we talked about the privacy protest, which is something that Doug has been talking for quite a few months. And I'm so happy that it's finally coming to fruition. The website is very beautiful. Monero Boating Club has done an exceptional job. It looks very, very good. And I'm so happy that it's going to happen. And don't get swayed away by the privacy protest. Like there's not going to be Molotovs or, people throwing things around. No, it's going to be a, peaceful protest. And
100%.
yeah, and I'm just curious to see if the cops will show up. That's going to be interesting.
Well, they'll be down there anyway because it's already
Yeah.
a scene with
Yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah.
So, which is part of the reason why it would be very hard for them to tell us like not to do it because like everybody else is out there expressing themselves. So it's like, how are you gonna then pinpoint us and be like, no? I mean, that would be very egregious in my mind. So I think they'll be fine with it, man. New York, like I said, unless things have really gotten much worse than I even thought, is always pro protests and letting people get out there and express ideas. So we should, we should be fine.
Yeah, I'm curious about their reaction. I don't think they're gonna do anything like you said. But if they do, then the question is gonna come: do they really care about free speech? So it's gonna be very interesting. But
Exactly.
yeah, you can buy a mask. We don't even have to know how you look like. You can just come, show up, have fun. We can go for drinks after or whatever. Have fun. Go walk around New York and just talk about privacy and Monero. And yeah, you can pay. You can donate, which you should, because that's going to go towards the show and it's going to help the show grow and the event. And yeah, you can pay in Monero, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. So it's not.
Oh no, you could pay in. So the way we have it set up is you could, we have now payments, so you could pay in anything that now payments accepts, which is basically every coin that exists, and then it just auto transfers it and sends it off to us in Monero. So we don't really care. Obviously, you lose fees there, and then the second option is the Monero Gateway. We recommend you use that because that way you could actually really truly anonymously purchase your mask. Yep.
Yes. Yeah, but so you can use straight Monero, you can use Bitcoin, but when you do come to the event, it's gonna be about privacy. You're gonna see a lot of Monero, so you can use whatever tool you want to buy it, but when you get there, it's gonna be about Monero and privacy. So
yeah, 100%. And like we have the Monero, Bitcoin, and Ethereum logos on top. That's we're trying to get this idea of uniting, bringing these projects together to fight for a common cause. So. Anybody that wants to come out from any project that's interested in these ideas and protecting the encroachment of the state upon this concept of code being speech, come out. That's what we're aligning around.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So if we can get like 200 people, 300, that'll be insane. Like that's gonna be on the news, which we should strive towards that being on the news. That'll be incredible. That'll be very cool.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
That'll be amazing, yeah. So let's go into the next thing, which is very cool to see and very good to see. Posts per day on Reddit has been rising. So we had for like, what is it? Yeah, in 2021, in October, September, July, about 20 20 posts per day, 18, something like that. And then this year, by the end of June, we skyrocketed to about 72 posts or 82, which is incredible to see. So Monero really is getting traction, and we see it by the numbers every single week, that a lot more people are using Monero, talking about Monero, mentioning it on Twitter. So this is a very positive thing to see. But it's insane how it just skyrocketed, and it kind of stayed there too for a bit. Like, it hasn't gone down. On the 18th, we had 50 posts, but that's still a lot. So this is great, and this is very good for the space. So I'm very happy to see. And now for the next thing, we have Haveno's testnet going live. So if you go on the website, you can actually follow the instructions, and then you can test the network, not with real money, but just to test the network and see how it is. Obviously, this is not the final form, and there's a lot more work to be done. But you should test it out, see if you like it, post on Twitter about your experience. Did you like it? Did you not? Just gonna help the process, but it's just going to be another tool with which you can transact in Monero or get Monero. And yes, so that's a very good thing. Now let's get into this article now, because this was very, very interesting. So people say that Bitcoin has been developed perfectly until 2140. You don't have to worry about it. Satoshi thought about every single aspect. Well, according to Bitcoin developer Peter Todd, Bitcoin will be forced to hard fork by 2106 to fix an overflow bug. In the Bitcoin community, they have a never fork-er philosophy, which is undermined. So if we go on the Twitter post,
What year is that?
2106.
Oh, okay.
So it's still a long time, but still, because yeah. So essentially, documenting Bitcoin said that Satoshi Nakamoto programmed the last Bitcoin to be mined in 140 years in the future. But Peter Todd said that Satoshi used a 32-bit UINT for end time that will require an ugly hard fork to fix. Now, I'm not super technical. I'm not exactly sure what that means. But so maybe someone else can talk about it in more detail. But he did say that it's going to need an ugly hard fork to fix. And someone commented, the chain will halt in 2106 without a hard fork. So this is very interesting. And there's a lot of things.
What are they going to do? I mean, they never fork, so they're just going to go down the ship.
I guess so.
No, it's just funny though. I mean, it just, as to what you're suggesting, it just points out this concept that there's. I understand this idea of wanting things to ossify, because you want it to be a broadly adopted protocol that people can trust, that doesn't change overnight. But this idea to be adamantly opposed to any upgrades at all is, I personally just think, is their way of coping with the fact that Bitcoin doesn't update.
Yeah, but like, when it comes to updating protocols, for example, we have privacy as the main concern. But okay, so we have privacy, that's not going to change. But then what does change is, like the ring size and all these things that protect the privacy. Like, those things cannot stay the same. Those things need to change in order for the technology to, actually be private over time, because technology changes. So you can have some fundamentals correct, and then always build on that.
Right.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. And so in the Monero community, we always give hypothetical answers to questions such as why we need fungibility and why we need the tail emission and things like that. But now we don't need to give hypothetical answers, because we actually have concrete examples. And this is why I want to get into the Tornado Cash event right now, because so we all know about Tornado Cash and what's been happening in the US, because it's essentially banned. And Justin actually went on CoinDesk and talked about the implications and how Monero was actually built for this. And I would say that essentially, he actually said something interesting. Yeah, so he criticized government attempts to go after the entire network rather than sanctioning individual smart contract addresses. So this is essentially as if you're going for the entire people that use cash instead of someone specifically that use cash for illegal things. So I see this as not only a war on privacy, but it's a war on cash itself. Because if you don't want to instill privacy in a currency, then you also don't like it in the form of cash because you can control.
Exactly.
It's more and more.
That's really what it comes down to. It's a war on cash.
Yeah, it's a war on cash. Like, this is a war on cash. Like, this is not, so they really want you to not have any privacy whatsoever, because this is open source. It's an open source tool, and they've done what they've done. So as Justin said, and I feel the same, I feel uneasy with the recent actions. I don't like them at all. And a lot of people feel the same in our community. Because Monero is a digital currency that is meant to be censorship resistant. And because we have instilled the principles of fungibility and everything, we are resistant to these attacks. For example, with the Tornado Cash event, we had someone send a bunch of Tornado Cash transactions to Jimmy Fallon and a bunch of big names. And if that's illegal to do, you're incriminating a person. And we have been talking about how you need fungibility because of these aspects. For example, if I want to pay for something and this form of money has been used by the most wanted criminal in the world, and now I give it to you, you're going to say, well, you're associated with that person. And you're going to say, well, no, I'm innocent. And they're going to say, well, step to the side, I'm going to get the cops and investigate. Like, this is a serious issue. That's why we need privacy and fungibility for cash to function. Like, this is a very important thing. And so actually, if we go into this article as well, or rather post, Ethermine, the largest Ethereum miner, stopped including Tornado internal transactions over a week ago.
Yeah. And you're seeing the effect. It's not,
yeah,
it's not just hypothetical. You're seeing a real world effect.
Yeah. So do people in this space really care about this revolution? Are they really for the future of finance and giving people true censorship resistant money? Or do they just care about making money and fooling around, which kind of is the case, like in 99% of the things that happen in the space. So with everything that has been going on, I'm kind of happy that now we have concrete examples to give to people with how money should be. Because before we didn't have really big examples of why fungibility is important. We would say, yeah, like you can incriminate people, and people would say, oh, but that's not going to be a thing. You guys are worrying too much. Well, look at it now. You can just simply incriminate people because the US banned Tornado Cash transactions. So this is
it's insane.
Very serious.
I mean, so when I see something like this happen, we saw Tornado Cash happen, but now we're seeing this. The Tornado Cash incident, we were upset with the state. The state was encroaching, on this tech. But now this is the community and the tech doing this kind of to themselves, right? So these miners but it's because there's regulatory pressure that's being put on them, and because of the way their network is built, that basically they're not immune to manipulation. They're not immune to regulation, and that's why it's so important at the end of the day to have a technology where this just wouldn't be possible. So with Monero, with it being private by default on the base layer, how would you even accomplish this? How would you force miners to follow some regulation where they're only allowed to allow certain types of transactions through when every transaction looks identical, right?
Yeah, so what is this about? And plus, the way Monero is built with RandomX and it being decentralized, it's not one entity choosing, what transaction can go through and everything. No, like, we as a community work together. We are a hive. We're like a digital hive working together. And the beautiful thing about this decentralized aspect of Monero is that you can just go to one person that has the most amount of hash rate and just shut down a complete network. No, you have to go to every single person, into their apartment, into their house, and I guess, go on their computer and check for, mining pool, which is, it's insane. It's insane, it's just so hard to do. So yeah, Monero has been built for these things. Like, we actually thought about these things, and this is why
the privacy literally makes it more censorship resistant and more essentially allows it to stay more decentralized. It becomes more difficult for you to regulate because of its unique privacy.
Yeah, it's just all beautifully goes together, like all these things. Also, this is very interesting as well. So apparently everyone, 93% of Ethereum addresses are only 4 hops away from a Tornado Cash transaction. So if we go into this tweet right here, 6 degrees of Tornado Cash is a thing. Even crazier, by only 0.03% of addresses received from Ethereum from Tornado Cash, almost half the entire Ethereum network is only 2 hops from a Tornado Cash receiver. So this thing is banned, but almost half of the entire network is only 2 hops away from receiving this and being criminalized. This is insane. Like, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. And then I think, let me see. I think that was it for this week. I don't think there's anything else. No, that was it. That was a lot.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
That was a lot, man.
That was a lot. Like, I feel like every single week something crazy happens.
So Tony, what do you think of the fact that we want to, unite all the crypto projects, anybody that claims to be interested in these ideas of censorship resistance and digital cash, uniting them? That's like I said, that's why we have Bitcoin and Ethereum up there. We could put any number of other projects up there. The idea is we want to attract anybody that's claiming to believe in these concepts. What do you think of that versus it just being this is a Monero thing?
Yeah, well, essentially you're using any form of digital cryptocurrency to come to a Monero focused event. So you can be exclusive and just say, okay, we only accept Monero, or you can make the choice.
But I'm not even saying the accepting whatever. That's not a big deal, right? Because we get paid out in Monero. Like, I'm saying more so we're calling out these other projects. We put Bitcoin on the website, we put Ethereum on there. We mentioned that we're out there because of what happened to Tornado Cash. I mean, obviously, I personally think this is the right way to go. I'm just curious what your opinion is on that, and others in the community. We'll get people up here to comment.
Yeah, for sure. Please do come on the show. I think it's inclusive. And overall, the Monero community, if you just look on Reddit or the tweets that people post, overall, the Monero people are actually very nice and always helpful, and they always wanted to give the best privacy tool across, finance and browsing the internet and everything. So yeah, I think that's a very positive thing, that the Monero community actually wants people from the Bitcoin community, Ethereum community to come discuss peacefully and talk about these things. So no, yeah, I think that's a very good thing. I love this, and I really like that this is coming to fruition as well. And it's only 2.5 months away.
Yeah. Started early.
Yeah.
I'm flies in Maryland. But all right, awesome. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Tony. Stick around.
Stick around. We're going to jump into the viewers on stage segment. So stay tuned.
I actually have to go, but I'm going to go right now on Twitter and post this event right now because it's just so cool. And
awesome.
I can stick around, but thank you so much for having me this week, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you, Tony. Thanks for doing the news. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah. All right.
Thank you. See you next week. Bye, guys. Have a good week.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It's the Viewers on Stage segment. It's that time where we invite you, the viewers, up on stage to comment on anything you've heard so far today, ask the guest a question, or maybe talk about one of the news topics. Come on down.
Doesn't get old.
Still, every time. I have to repeat that.
No, that's great.
It's so annoying.
Can I comment on what you asked Tony about?
Yeah, please do. And anybody else that wants to jump up, now's the time. Jump up and we'll put you in the room. But go ahead, Monero Boating.
All roads lead to Monero eventually. I mean, you need transparent cash for politics and for governments and for companies maybe, and you need cash for people. You can't be free if you don't have free cash. Eventually, any transparent blockchain will become surveilled. So in my opinion, all roads lead to Monero. But it's great that they've had their wake-up call, Ethereum and Bitcoin. If not, they're having it, or they're going to have it. So
yeah,
it's good that
and,
you include them.
Yeah, 100%. And, New York City has obviously a large Bitcoin community, and it has a very large Ethereum community. I think, like kind of in Brooklyn, they have a couple of the large companies that, are working on the Ethereum blockchain are located there. So these people should get involved. They should come on out, it would be great. And I think this is the opportunity to do it and to align together over these concepts, because all projects will benefit from this. We could argue about the tech, which one is, more idealistic in certain ways. But at the end of the day, we also all should want an environment where this tech is allowed to exist, right? We all benefit from that. Like, you shouldn't be rooting for the regs to be in some form where then they hurt certain projects. Like, no, we want it to be in a way where anyone that's building true open source tech that's not controlled by anyone, should this tech should be allowed to exist, and people should be allowed to interact with it.
Definitely.
Hello.
Hey, wait, can we put up the site for a second? I just want to.
And Ronin wants to say hello. Hello.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
we
we got
hear
you.
Thanks for
Excellent. I just wanted to comment on Haveno because I think it's very exciting. I don't know if Monero Boating Club has anything to say or if I cut him off.
No.
I'm done. Yeah. So as Tony said, I think it's a great news that the Haveno protocol testnet is out. I don't know if you guys had the chance to look into it.
No, we have not.
Yeah. So I'm not a Monero professional by any means, but I wanted to play around with it, and the setup was surprisingly easy. So as Tony said, everybody go out there, try it. It's not a hard setup at all. I'm sure Seth or someone will come up with a guide to go further into it. But even if you're a noob like me, you can test the basic features. So I used Ubuntu 22.04 on the public test network with Monero and Revolut account. So I only tested the Fiat XMR features because I think that's what I'm mostly interested in, because I think that would be huge for adoption to have censorship resistant on and off ramps, right?
Oh, 100%. The more of these utilities we have in the ecosystem, the better, where people can get on and on, into and out of Monero without KYC AML. Amazing.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is just a partial. You cannot test all the features of Haveno at this point. So when you open it up, it says this platform allows you to test Haveno's protocol. The user interface is still very rough, and some parts are not yet implemented or stable. So this and it says we suggest to test only basic functions like opening or taking a trade, and that's exactly what I did. First couple of times I got some timeout errors, but then I successfully completed transaction both ways, took offers, created offers. Ultimately, I found those features usable. One thing is that you have to attend the process for some time, waiting for blockchain confirmations and approval of fiat payments at different stages from both parties, right? So you can set the XMR auto confirm, which would speed up the process if you don't have to wait all the 10 confirmations. I'm not a big UI guy, so I can't really comment on that. I'm sure people will have suggestions and there will be improvements on that department. The internal messaging seemed to be working as well, which is a part of their dispute handling protocol, which is, that's what I'm mostly curious in, how that will work out, because arbitrators, the council, the revenue management of Haveno could be where the rubber meets the road when it comes to Haveno, in my opinion.
Right. That's we're gonna have to really see how that part functions. I'll be honest with you. We haven't had anybody come on from Haveno to talk because, for whatever reason, they don't like us from Monerotopia, which is a real shame because we've apologized, and obviously we didn't felt like we needed to, but for the purposes of trying to make sure we stay united. So anybody from Havino that's listening, once again, more than happy to give you guys a platform anytime you want to come on and talk about your project and the technology. We, put aside your dislike of us and don't and take advantage of the platform. So I'm glad you're on talking about it. But yeah, anybody working on it
first of all, I didn't know.
Level, you're more than welcome to come on here or do a Monero talk. Would love to.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know about this, to be honest. I knew about the CSS funding delay, but not the issue with the Monero talk. I didn't know about this, to be honest. And I'm not even affiliated with Haveno. I'm just.
It was from when we did Monerotopia, the event, and we had Chris Sky was going to be a speaker, and the main dev behind Havino just flipped out.
Okay.
And he didn't give us a chance to even deal with the situation. He basically kind of came at us with pitchfork and tried to rally the community against. And it was just, I thought it was very contradictory to what this community is supposed to be about, which is free speech. And at least that's one of the things I align with in this community. And I feel it kind of be hypocritical. I mean, we're building a free speech protocol, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
there's some hypocrisy there, and I understand his personal views, but that's kind of where it all stemmed from, and that's where.
Yes, but I think still we should be able to agree on the common goal and move
right. We're
forward.
working on the tech. Yeah, let's focus on the tech. Right.
And because it's a trust minimized, like an escrow style swap between peers, they do need to build some sort of trust, right? Because it's not like atomic swaps where basically it's a trustless protocol between blockchains on the protocol level. So there's no need for that type of trust in atomic swap that you do need to trust the council and the arbitrators when it comes to Haveno. So I think it's everybody's goal to figure this out, right?
What's his name? Ericone.
Ericone.
If you're listening, once again, you're welcome to hop on anytime.
All right. We have two more people that joined.
Hey, Ronin,
Mads.
I had some questions for Ronin.
Wait, you're kind of low. Your mic is very
low.
Your
mic is very low.
Hear you. If you want to refresh yourself.
Is that better?
Much better.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I had some questions for Ronin about his experience with that. I was wondering how he got to access that beta, because I saw that Reddit post, but I can't find it anymore. And I was wondering what is his experience with the user interface? Did he try to provide liquidity to anything, and what's it currently offering?
Yeah, so I got it from GitHub. I don't know if that answers your first question. I just followed everything on GitHub. Matt, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's just on their GitHub. They just updated, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you just follow the instructions there, using, I think you should use Ubuntu. That's what I hear is the easiest, and that's what they recommend as well. So, and then the user interface, basically you have to go to the Monero testnet, you fund your account, and then basically you can make offers, you can take other people's offers. As I said, I only use the Revolut account. That's what they recommended on the GitHub instructions page. So I the first two timeout errors I got, I don't know if it was on my part. I was just I didn't use BISC, so I didn't have experience with this type of platform. So I just got two timeout errors in the beginning, and then I completed, I don't know, 6 or 8 successful transactions altogether. With the UI, I can't really say, because as they said, that's what they're behind on. So I didn't even want to go into the whole thing of the CSS, because I mean the delaying of the they are upfront about that. It's not the final form. That's why I wanted to read their kind of at the beginning it says the user interface is still very rough, and some parts are not yet implemented or stable. So I didn't really expect bells and whistles and sparkles.
Just a comment. it is very important, and we definitely need atomic swaps and on and off ramps like Rune or Haveno to improve. But I'm not a coder, and apparently it's very hard to. It's because nobody has been able to do it completely for Monero. But don't overlook centralized exchanges that don't require your information, like Cake. Everybody knows, or most people know, that I'm sponsored by Majestic Bank. There's SideShift. There are many. The more, the better, and you don't need. We need atomic swaps, but right now we have all those options, and the more that pop up, the more decentralized the Monero on ramps can be.
I fully agree. Yes, absolutely. And I'm curious to see how Haveno will fit into this whole ecosystem and compete with even things like local Monero, right? Because not just there's not atomic swaps, local Monero, instant swaps, as Monero Boating Club said, side shift and stuff like that. And
then Thorchain and Sarai. Although I heard, is Thorchain now no longer looking to integrate Monero? Have you guys been following that? Anybody have?
I'm not really up on that.
Okay. Well, more interesting is Sarai. Are you guys familiar with that? We've been talking about it on the show a bit, and the lead dev, I interviewed him on Monero Talk. Are you guys familiar?
I saw that episode.
Yeah, I mean that's a really exciting project, right? So that has the ability to be decentralized enough, unstoppable enough, more so than these other centralized exchanges. Obviously, no KYC AML. And it uses these liquidity pools, so you don't need to get buyers and sellers together, right? So you just have this liquidity pool that people can, so it becomes a seamless way to, get in and out of Monero from other cryptos in a more user-friendly way, right? As compared to atomic swaps, which maybe we get there with atomic swaps, but yeah, I agree. The more versions and ways, the better, and then we'll see which ones kind of become the most popular in terms of being in that Goldilocks area of being decentralized and unstoppable enough while also being user-friendly.
I think the main appeal of the Haveno is specifically to go from fiat to Monero.
Right.
Honestly, I think it's hard to send fiat non-KYC without a DEX.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you need that 100%. Yeah, Sarai or Thorchain doesn't compete in that area, and like you said, you definitely need a way for that to happen.
I was actually watching an interview with John McAfee or whatever, and his one main critique of Monero is that you have to buy it through a centralized exchange. So it's good that that's starting to change.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
And I think one thing that people don't really talk about is planting Monero ATMs. I'm sure you need a company for that and everything, but still, that would be a convenient tool.
Yeah. Doug does this a lot, and we should. I've been doing it. Everybody I talk to Monero, I sell them individually. Just tell me how much you need, and we can all do our small part in the community.
Yeah, maybe when we do this event, we could try to get a restaurant, a bar that's like in walking distance from where we are to accept Monero for the evening. Because now we'll have time to try to pull that move. Probably get them. That'd be cool. Another thing I wanted to bring up was so on the website Monero Boating. So we have that line. What is it? Unite to fight for the right to, and then we have publish, encrypt, free speech, transact, liberty, privacy,
keeps going,
freedom. Wow, we got it. Public. Yeah, I would say add cash in there. That'd be cool.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it would be to use cash. We'd have to, right? But we're work on that. Get a cash related slogan up there.
All right.
All right. Got any other comments? Things people want to bring up?
I think that's it. Really looking at that website.
It's hard to see who's.
He's like really.
Who's on stage?
Really looking at the website.
Who's looking at me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you were staring at it.
No, I'm trying to see the sun is in my.
Yeah.
We're getting toasted up here right
Yeah.
now, guys. Yeah. Anybody else want to bring anything up?
Any last comments?
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Did we lose everyone?
No.
I'm good. I don't have anything to say.
Thank you
You guys
for
have
your
any
activism.
comments?
Like always. Yeah.
Thank you, man. Anybody else that's up here have any comments on the event itself and how we're looking to, unite the other projects alongside Monero for this cause? Just curious what the community's reaction is to that. What do you guys think? What's your take?
Any final words?
Let's have someone exchange other coins for Monero there.
Okay.
But also be careful, guys, because you don't want to do anything that's questionable. And I think it should be if more people can get on board, that would be, even because you were talking about if you should have Bitcoin people on board and stuff. Even outside the crypto community, I think the use case is getting more and more evident and more apparent for people.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd like to maybe put the Tor project up there, right? Like people that are into, that's another obviously open source technology that aligns with us. There's other projects we could add to this as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm not honestly a huge fan of wearing masks because I don't think we're doing anything wrong trying to be private. I feel like I just associate wearing masks with doing something wrong.
Yeah, I agree, but I see what you're saying, but we're also trying to say that being anonymous isn't wrong either, right? So,
I think that's what we need to
change the perception on anonymity. Like it's okay, it's okay to be anonymous.
I'm not doing anything wrong, and I have a mask because I like my privacy. There's nothing wrong with having a mask and being. People see it as
right.
If you don't have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. But that's a Nazi slogan. I want to hide my face because I like my privacy. There's nothing wrong with using masks, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, and for security reasons, I mean, we're this is what we're up against, right? There's a surveillance state, so anybody that's participating in this is potentially, their pictures being recorded, whatever. Is there anything wrong with participating in it? Absolutely not. Should we be, proud about this technology? Absolutely. It's for the betterment of humanity. But that being said, we don't know what these people what people in power may try to do to stop the technology. So for security reasons, same reasons why obviously we don't want, the devs to publicize who they are.
Yeah, exactly right.
I mean, it's a balance. I'm obviously out there. I'm at the tip of the spear, but I've made that decision. But it's not for everybody, and I think we want the community can maintain strength through the security of anonymity.
And I think the idea should be that it's not that you have to wear a mask or you don't have to, or you have to not wear a mask. It's that it's up to you to adjust, right? It's
100%. Yeah, like I won't be wearing a mask because I'll be up there talking, and like we're gonna have like 3 speakers. I'm not gonna have speakers come up and talk in the mask. I mean, we could have one person if they want to do that, sure. But the idea is to get some, big names that are publicly associating with the philosophies behind this concept and saying, privacy is normal and privacy is a human right. Privacy is something we need to be fighting for.
All right.
That's right.
That's right. So with that, I guess we'll close it.
We'll close it out. We're gonna jump in the ocean.
In here.
All right, guys. Thank you so much
for joining us.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you so much, everybody. I can't read everybody's name because of the sun, but everybody that was here today, thanks for jumping on stage. Monero Boating Club, man, great job on the website. Thank you again.
And Siddhartha.
Thank you.
Siddhartha, yes.
For those of you that want to help us out, join the Telegram group, reach out to me or Doug,
or send
email us an email at monerotopia@protonmail.com.
Yeah, email might be better because we'll keep track of it. Yeah. There's like a lot of people in that room, but definitely jump on the Telegram room for coordination.
Yeah, and for those, please like the show. And I always say this at every show, but it really helps us out on YouTube and Odyssey. So please like those and help spread the word about this meetup. We're really looking forward to meeting you all or not meeting you all on Halloween.
Whoever you may be.
Whoever you may be. But hope to see a lot of people there because we're really excited about it.
Not that we'll see them.
No, we won't see them. Oh my
You
God.
get what we mean.
Yeah, being next to us.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Enough. Ciao.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend or enjoy the rest of the weekend. Adios, peeps. Thank you for joining us on this week's Monerotopia episode. We stream live shows every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. You can find and subscribe to our show on YouTube and Odyssey, or listen to the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or Stitcher. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter or join us in the Monerotopia Telegram group. See you all next week.